action.
TV show, I'm gonna be on TV show. Think of everyone you know, they could be on TV show. Hello. Welcome to Car Trouble. I'm Clifford Kendall, and I regret to inform you that this is going to be the last episode of Car Trouble. I'd like to tell you about need some help with their car, getting their car fixed. The letter that I'm going to read you today is a little bit darker. Dear Clifford, we, the executive producers of Car Trouble, regret to inform you that we are replacing you as host of Car Trouble. We hope this doesn't cause you any inconveniences. It's nothing personal, it's just business. Signed, executive producers of Car Trouble. Well, there you have it. The end of an era. I felt something coming on because we learned recently that there had been some budget cuts at Car Trouble. This episode, they told me that I wouldn't have any of my fancy editing. My man, the editor, wouldn't be available because of the money. Won't be able to use any of our fancy subtitling where I get to punctuate some of the necessary Car Trouble ideas with words. So I felt like there was some crap going down, if you know what I'm saying. Pardon my French. So they gave me a 30-minute tape, and they said, you just get this tape, and that's all you get, and give us whatever you can. So even though they're replacing me, I'm going to go out fighting. I'm going to go out as a fighter. I'm going to give you one more episode of Car Trouble. And I gave you a little glimpse of my world in some of the previous episodes, but I decided since it's my last episode, we do this episode from my home, right here in my home, in the Clifford Kendall home. I'd like to introduce you to my dogs here. These are all my dogs. These dogs have been with me a long time. They're my dear friends. This right here, this is Turbo. That's little Turbo right there. That there's Wingnut. Say hi, Wingnut. She's crazier than a jailhouse rat. That's what she is. Over here, this begging right here, we call her Doublewide. She's Doublewide, if you know what I'm saying. So sit back for the next half hour, and even though we're losing something very vital to American culture in the form of Car Trouble, we are going to go out with one last episode, and we're going to talk about some significant concepts and worldly items that we should all be thinking about in this day and age. Now, I might be leaving the show Car Trouble, but I'm not leaving the earth. I'm still going to be here to help people and teach people how to fix their own cars with household found items. You'll find me on the street corner. You'll find me up at the diner or up at the gas station helping people out. I'm going to be around. Now again, we like to start every show with a classic libation. Today's not going to be any different. Here's to all the good people in the world that know what good TV is about. Here's to you, viewers, fans of Clifford Kendall and Car Trouble. Well, let's say we get started with talking about some things. Walk over here to my home gym. One thing that is vitally important when you're working on cars or when you're doing anything in life is to stay in shape. Now what I want to do today, I want to show you a little bit about how Clifford Kendall stays in shape. Because I feel like, I've told you many times that the automobile body is analogous to the human body. And if you don't keep your automobile body in good shape, it's like not keeping your human body in good shape. This is how Clifford does it. We start every workout with a little stretching. You get stretched out real good, then you get down. I like to start with my sit-ups. We'll get to do them on my car dolly so I can move around. Ugh. I always flip my hat around backwards when I'm exercising, so as I know I'm not working, and I am indeed exercising. Now, to execute the perfect Clifford Kendall sit-up, you want to lay back, you want to hold the back of your head like that, you want to keep your feet flat on the ground, and then you want to just sit up like that. You'll do one sit-up, and you go back down like that, and you come up for another sit-up. Now, I usually find that 2 sit-ups is about what you need to start out a good workout. So we'll do another one just to make it an even number. 3. We'll make it 3 sit-ups for that part of it. And that's what I call the Clifford Kendall getting up from underneath the car sit-up. All right, we're done with that. Now, I like to use relatively heavy weights since I lift heavy engine parts and such. So we'll do some Clifford Kendall curls, and while we're exercising, I bet there's many of you out there that would like to know where Clifford Kendall came from and how I learned how to work on automobile engines and how I became such an automotive whiz. Well, it was 40 years ago, back in my hometown of Claytonsboro, and I was born 40 years ago. This isn't when I started working on the cars. And I remember being about 5 years old, and I'd go into where my daddy was working on his car, and he'd have all his tools out there, man. He'd have his tools out there, and he'd be working away, and I'd say, Daddy, now, why does this go there, and why does that go here? I never could figure out how he knew so much. And he took me aside and he said, son, a car is like a woman. You gotta learn what she's about before you can deal with her. And so's I did. Daddy taught me everything from realigning a hose cap valve to, he taught me everything. He taught me about inflating tires. He taught me about spark plugs and spark plug demographics. Basically everything that one would need to learn. So by the time I was 7, I was building cars and heavy equipment and machinery from my bare hands, from scratch, with normal household found items. That's where the car trouble philosophy came from, my childhood. Because we was poor. I didn't know, I couldn't have the money to go out and buy metal and things to build myself a backhoe or a gigantic crane for building buildings. So I had to improvise. And that's what self-reliance is all about. Now, I've told you that the Clifford Kendall Institute for Higher Learning and Self-Reliance, Automotive World Headquarters, is all about coming together within yourself to rely upon yourself. So you don't need anybody else. People do need me. I understand that. But I teach them to be independent of me as soon as they learn the ways, the basics. Now, some dogs are going to have to remain dependent on their owners, I would say. That's just part of being a dog. Ain't that right there, Turbo? Yeah, that's one hell of a attack dog right there, by the way. So, when you're talking about trying to figure out a way to teach yourself everything you need to know about a car, where are you going to go? I went and got myself a job at the Kmart Auto Body Shop. We fixed auto bodies, we fixed automobile engines, we fixed weed whackers, everything under the sun. And that was before Martha Stewart came along. Now, I'm a big fan of Martha Stewart. As a matter of fact, Martha, if you're watching this show, I'm going to be available, as they say, here soon. So if you would like to pull Clifford Kendall into your world, the Martha Stewart world, and have me do some type of automotive show for you, well, bring it on, sister. Bring it. Let's do it. Because I'm telling you what, the world needs people like Clifford Kendall to tell them how to make their lives run smoother. Mine happened to be from an automotive perspective. Martha's happens to be from a cooking and a gardening perspective and things of that nature. But boy, I think we're kindred spirits, one and the same. Raise your hand if you agree with me. Jesse? Yes, ma'am, sir. Heck yeah. So, we're working out. Now, I'll teach you another exercise here. This is the Clifford Kendall lifting up the exhaust dual manifold income valve cap exercise. Pretend that these are the exhaust manifold valves right there. You lift them up like that, and you need to hold them. Hold them up there as if you were drying them out. And you know how when you're drying them out like that, it takes a while. If you need to hold them up for a certain period of time, you gotta have the strength in them muscles. And it's them muscles right there, it's working. You can see the ones that's flexing there, right there. I use heavy weight because of the inherent nature of the power. I think that's a, just see, what is that, a 40 pounder? That's 60 pounds right there. So that's that one. Let's see now. Oh, I got another one I do. We have a fully stocked gym here at the Clifford Kendall Institute. This is a little exercise I like to call the climbing over top of the hood exercise. How often do you need to do this? When you got to climb over the hood, and oh, yeah, all right. You climb over the hood like that, and then yeah, and that way you got the flexibility to go up in there and say I was reaching into, I had to go up in the hood and go somewhere deep to get in there and get a lug nut out there. That's all I need to do. That gives me the flexibility to do that. All right, well, why don't we call that a wrap on the workout session of the show. Now, I think what we'll do next, since I'm bringing you into my home and into my life, I'll take you down into the Clifford Kendall basement. And we'll go down and we'll look at some of the places where I tinker and piddle around and build things. I build rocket engines and I build spaceships, things of that nature. So come on down with me. Come on down. We'll take a little tour. We'll go down into Clifford's world. Mind your step there. Come on, Turbo. Wingnut. Come on here, Doublewide. All right. Yeah, come right along there. Boy, I tell you what, I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands when this TV show's over. Come on down now. All righty. Right down in here, this is where Clifford makes it all happen. Yep. This is where it all happens, right down here. Come on, Wingnut. Come on, Turbo. Come on. Come on, that's right. That's right. All right, Jesse. This is it. This is the official Clifford Kendall workshop area where I build everything from, I build frame stretchers and flamethrowers. Boy, I've built me some things down here. I'm gonna tell you what. So, why don't we start out by, you see I keep some, one thing I'm going to show you. Here's a very convenient item that you can use. This is something that, I'll tell you what, you might not believe it. We'll use this one here. This right here may look like a pair of ladies' legs, like a mannequin. They have the mannequin that they put in the store. But what I do with this, for instance, if I have to, I'm working underneath the car and I've got to leave a job for 10 or 15 minutes to go out and get a snack, I will put a pair of pants like Clifford Kendall work pants on the mannequin legs. And I'll put that, I'll just, watch this right here, I'll demonstrate what I do. I'll ram that up underneath the car where I'm working. I'll stick it up under there like that. I'll put some Clifford shoes on there. And that way, to the untrained eye, it would look as if I was still under there working away, when in fact I'm not. Now, why, might you ask, is that a good thing? If someone sees an unattended car that looks like it's being worked on, but nobody underneath it, that's when vandalism can occur. Vandalism is the #1 plague against cars that's being worked on, but the mechanic has stepped away for a moment. By putting your fake, we'll call it a Clifford dummy, by putting that up underneath of there, then the general population, and those people that might have a tendency toward vandalism, well, they wouldn't go near it then. Make sense? Car trouble fixed. Very good. All right, let's see here. Come on in there, Jesse. What else we got here? I got a whole lot of stuff now. You know, to be Clifford Kendall, I'm going to have a seat on my toolbox here. I tell you what, we'll just put her right back under there. It ain't easy being Clifford. I got to tell you, the training that I've had in the automotive world is one thing, but I'm highly educated, and intelligent in many other ways as well. And ain't that right, Wingnut? Yeah. The burden that I feel inside of my head is great and huge, and it boils down to the fact that I'm an auto mechanic trapped in the body of a genius. I have studied at great length microphysics and literature. I'm a trained classical actor. I studied in London and New York and Branson, Missouri. Most of you probably been to Branson, to some of the dinner theaters that they have down there. I have traveled the world. Shakespeare, you ask? Well, of course. I'll do a little Shakespeare. How about this one? Let's see if we can, bless you, Jesse. Let's see if we can just pull one out of the hat here. Oh, an actor needs a moment. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but being seasoned with a gracious voice obscures the show of evil? In religion, what nature but some alleged... I forgot that one. Let's try another one. How about to be or not to be? That there's the question. Whether it is nobler to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. See, Clifford's multidimensional. That's another reason I feel like canceling my show is not unlike committing a murder. I feel like what is happening here is a murder. And when a murder occurs, someone needs to be brought to justice. Let's think about this for a moment. By severing my lifeline, my television show, Card Trouble, Wingnut, come here. By severing my lifeline, I feel like I'm being killed and I'm being murdered in my own right. I don't like it one little bit. So I feel like what I should do is I should figure out a way to start a letter writing campaign. If any of y'all folks would like to write letters to keep Clifford Kendall's show on the air. If any of y'all folks would like to write a letter for Clifford, feel free. What I'd like you to do is tell somebody what Clifford's done for you. If you feel like you learned something from Car Trouble, any of the episodes you might have seen, whether or not we was fixing somebody's distributor cap hose, or whether we was checking their fuel feed port for bacterial antibodies. If I brought you some kind of self-reliance or some kind of joy with my television show, I'd like you to write and tell the producers that Car Trouble should stay on the air with me as the host. Can you imagine what this show would be like with somebody else as the host? I know. Hey, hush. Can you imagine, for instance, if we take these doggies upstairs. I'll just put them upstairs. You look around for a moment, if you would, y'all. Go ahead on up. Look around the basement. Come on there, Doublewide. Go on up. Yeah. Think about what it would be like if it was, for instance, Soupy Sales was the host of Car Trouble, or if Gene Rayburn was the host of Car Trouble, or if, heck, I don't know. Think if you had somebody like Wink Martindale as the host of Car Trouble. That ain't right. I'm telling you right now, that ain't right. Because, first of all, Car Trouble is my baby. I brought Car Trouble into the world. What I've done, let me just show you a couple of things here. See if this brings back any memories. All these things that have been with us for so many episodes. Now, do you remember when Johnny Bonnet's car stunk to high heaven and we were able to fix it with a car trouble deodorizer? What else? Do you remember Howard Carter's problems? So many people that we've helped. We have helped hundreds of people. I can't figure it out, folks. Why would they want to get rid of me? I do a good job. I work hard. I'm charismatic. I got what it takes. Maybe it's a young man's world. Maybe I'm getting too old to be a television personality. Or maybe they feel threatened. Maybe that's it. They feel threatened because my ratings are high. They feel threatened because I know what I'm doing. And they don't. I'm too smart for them. I'm too good at my job is what's going on. It's like Bruce Lee. I'm like Bruce Lee. Because Bruce Lee was so good and nobody could stand him for it. He was the best kung fuist around and nobody could stand him for it. I bet that's what's going on here. Well, believe you me, I'm going to find a way to bring this TV show back around with me on it. What you can do is to not tune in to the new, improved Car Trouble with whoever's going to be hosting it. Don't tune in. Matter of fact, why doesn't everybody just turn off their TVs until Clifford Kendall is back on the air? And I'm sure you'll know. We'll have it in the newspaper. We'll be able to tell you. We'll take out a giant front page, full page ad when Clifford Kendall is back at the helm of Car Trouble. And you know what we can... I got it. When was the last time you was at Myrtle Beach and you saw the airplane flying through the sky with the big banner up on it that said whatever it says? Oftentimes it'll talk about a specific bargain that you can get at the Wings store, most of which are right across the street from each other, which makes it very handy for shopping. But I could get myself an airplane, and I could get myself a banner that reads Clifford's back. Clifford's on. It's on for Clifford. And we'll have that flying around there at Myrtle Beach, and as well as here and everywhere where we have viewers that would be able to tune in. And I can put smoke signals in the air too, like the Wicked Witch of the West when she wrote that with her broom, Dorothy. But I'll write Clifford. I'll let you folks know, believe you me. It ain't gonna be no mystery. It's gonna be fully. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's find another way. Let's keep looking. Let's bring back some more memories. Hey. Yeah. Hey now. That makes you want to cry, don't it? Car Trouble towels. I wonder if your next host is going to have personalized Car Trouble towels that he gives to every one of his patients. That's a genuine Car Trouble towel right there. How many of you out there bought your 24 packs, your 12 packs of Car Trouble towels? Well, I tell you what, if you have Car Trouble towels, official style Clifford Kendall Car Trouble towels out there, you could probably sell them on eBay for a lot of money now. Because with me going off the air and whatnot, these are going to be collector's items. Like you might find at the Antique Roadshow. Things of that nature, where valuable items are on sale. And, boy, that's a good one, too. That's one of them. I believe that's a Russian-made one. That's a Russian-made one. You know, back when I was a boy, we'd huff gasoline. And we'd take a towel like that. And I know it ain't good for you, but I've had a long history with towels. Huffing gasoline. I got out of that at an early age because I felt I couldn't do my job. I couldn't work on cars. Some of the other boys still do it that I grew up with. And they've took the proverbial nosedive in life. But towels are symbolic of cleaning up the bad things in the world. A towel is like the good book. It is indeed. It takes that which is bad and cleans it. With the car trouble towel, I feel like you get more for your money when you buy the dozen. That's why I've always sold them by the dozen. Let's see what else we got in here. If you recall, my 3 dogs, what I did was, and it ain't cruel, so don't call the cruelty people on me. I dipped their paws in black paint and made a personalized car trouble dog towel. Anything of that? Now that's the only one of its kind. I will auction that off when the time comes. I'm so sad, folks. I'm so sad about everything that. Well, looky there. You remember that? That was from an episode. Remember when we went to the? That was a couple years ago when we went to that biker bar, and we had all of them Harley Davidson riders that was in need of car and motorcycle trouble. And what we got right now is a Jolly Roger flag. We put that on. You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. That's going to make a nice. It's going to make a. Wait a minute. No, that ain't right. There it is. We'll pull that off. Did I tell you that I invented Velcro? I did. I invented the Velcro. Look at there. We'll make a. Heck yeah, man. I invented Velcro about a week before the other dude did. But you know what happened? He beat me to the patent office. He did indeed. Folks, the time has come. Here you go, Jesse. The time has come. Let me open it for you. The time has come, and we need to wind things up here. And I'm going to tell you what. It's been a long, hard ride here on Car Trouble. Jesse, I see you got a little something on there. That's just a little bit of that beer. It's actually very good for a camera lens. I'm going to bid a fondue to my viewers for now. Jesse, would you join me in a toast? Here's to bringing back Clifford. Bring him back alive. I love you. I love each and every one of you. I'm going to be back. You okay, Jesse? I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back. I will return.